Hey guys, it's Will. In this video, I want to talk about not giving up and persevering. Now, this is something that I have learned over the past year, and this has been almost reminded every other book or every other, inspirational video that I watch or read, every, two or second or third or fourth story that I hear, it occurs because I think it's so important. And I've just seen so many incredible stories out there that I think it's so true. You can't give up. And this is something that I've been told at an early age, and then I guess I forgot over time. And I would emphasize that it's so immensely important. And there's so many books out there and so many stories that pretty much illustrate this exact point. People who have not given up. They haven't just, tossed the towel and just not tried anymore. People like billionaire John Paul DiGiorgio. He was broke on the streets, homeless, and he had a kid, and he was living off trading in plastic bottles to a recycling company to pay for food. And then he got out of homelessness, then he went back into debt and bankruptcy and homelessness yet again. And there's so many hundreds of stories, and I've talked about all these stories in previous videos, and then there's many more that I haven't talked about, but there's so many in the books I've read, in the videos I've had, and if you want to see those, you're more than welcome to. I'll leave links in the description, but that's not the point of this whole video. It's not just to list out all these examples for you to believe that. I think that's important, and if you don't believe me, there's so many stories of this that once you go through this, you cannot not believe that this is true. I did this whole playlist. It's currently titled Ultimate Playlist for Success in Life, and it's about 300 and 400 videos that I've watched on YouTube on just the best stuff that I've picked out on just inspirational, successful stories or speeches and so forth. And I have a reading list on my blog on the books I've read, and half of them I'm sure you'll find some story that's incredible in there. What I want to talk about specifically though is YouTube. And I have definitely, for sure, I think absolutely for sure, I definitely think that I have the potential to succeed on YouTube. And success can mean a lot of things. I don't think I need 1 million subscribers to succeed. Um, but I do think, getting the ball rolling to a certain extent, that would be great to at least know that I have a possibility of, you know, generating like a decent amount of income, selling products or at least, having a decent following and people wanting to watch my videos. I do already have that, so I'm already pretty grateful. I have, 20 people who want to watch my videos each time I release them. That number could be a bit higher. And turning that into a full-time income, it seems like something so far on the outside, and it's so tough and difficult to do, and yet also I think it's possible for sure. I think it's absolutely possible, and I just find that incredible, you know. And so there's people who luck into it, and then there's a lot of other people who get jealous of these people and say, "Oh, look at these lucky, spoiled brats. They don't have to do anything, and they're making income off YouTube." And that may be true to a certain extent, but from what I've seen, it's not that easy at all. And even if you get there, there's a lot of work behind the scenes, a lot of full-time production work, extensive video editing for like 1 hour of, gaming or whatever else. Honestly, uh, I personally think I just want to do something I enjoy, um, and that may be, different from what I'm doing now. Who knows? And so the purpose of this video is really just to let you know that I have just learned so much and heard so many stories about not giving up and all these other things that I would be a fool, whether on YouTube or whether whatever other area in life, to give up on something I'm pursuing just because it doesn't work out the first time, the second time, the fifth time, and it fails. You know, so many people give up in starting a business because their first or second venture doesn't succeed. Well, statistics show that 90% of businesses fail. Uh, and basically, that means like most people do fail. Does that mean you give up and you stop? No, it just means like Mark Cuban and many other entrepreneurs who are successful have said, you know, that just means that if if you try 10 times, each time you're increasing your chances for success. If you start 100 business ventures at a 90% fail rate, that's a pretty good chance you'll succeed on those stats alone. So keep that into account. I mean, so many people have said that. Robert Kiyosaki said something similar. So I would be a fool not to give up, and I find that so incredibly uh, uncommon. You know, I've seen YouTube channels who are doing much better than I've ever done. And I've released so many videos, put a lot of effort into some of them. I've probably released about 500 videos now, and I still get maybe 20 or 30 views per video. And I've seen channels that have taken off from the start. Or I've seen channels who get, 20,000 views on their first video. And then they've released 50 videos over the course of the last 3 years. And it's like once every 4 months, whenever they want to, really. And they take it so lighthearted, and they're just complaining, they're whining, they're like, "Oh, I don't think I'd succeed on YouTube." And I'm like, first off, you have to be consistent. You're not even posting regularly. What's the point of the people subscribing to your channel? Second off, I would kill to have what you have. And you definitely, clearly, some of these channels, they clearly have the potential to succeed because they're already getting much greater traction than I ever have. And it's growing. And they just don't even care, and they don't they don't double down on it. They have, for whatever reason, given up. Not really given up, but kind of given up. And they let their channel die for whatever reason. I've literally seen YouTube channels and YouTube creators step away from their channel and just let it die completely, not come back to it for 2-3 years because they thought that it wouldn't mean anything, it wouldn't amount to anything. And I clearly see that this is something that you're already getting 20,000, 30,000 viewers. That's incredible, but you're not letting it snowball further into exponential growth, and you just let it die because it's not good enough for you. Now, maybe that's true to a certain extent. Maybe they don't just understand the potential that they hold. Whatever it is, I just think it's retarded. And, if you go back to some of the most successful channels, again, it varies depending on the YouTube channel. Jenna Marbles, a lot of personality channels, they succeeded from the start. Let's just be frank, they got a lot of viral videos from the start. Other channels, however, like PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye and Markiplier, they release videos daily, but their videos got 100 views. And then they were consistent, constantly. And they did this for years. Jacksepticeye, it took him maybe 2.5 years to go from 0 to 7 million. It's uncommon, but he's not the only person I've seen do that. But he released videos every single day, and it was a slow grind for the first year. He got 100 views per video, and then he did this every single day, looking at those 100 views, and that slowly, agonizingly over a few months grew to 1,000 views per video. Guess what? Most people would be too picky or spoiled, and they'd be like, 1,000 videos per day, that's nothing, because they're constantly looking at the people with millions of views, and so they just give up. They're like, this isn't worth it. And maybe, that's for the better because it thins uh, the people who don't have it in them to succeed from the ones who do. Because, you either have to have that perseverance or you have to have that deep interest and love for what you do, which maybe they just don't have it strong enough. Like maybe a lot of people partially have that interest, but they don't like it enough to do it even once a month. Like some people will drop the ball for like 4 months. Like, what are you doing for those 4 months then? So you like this so much, and yet you're willing to take a 4 month vacation from this. And so, again, it's a lot to think about. And then the final thing is now I've started to stumble across examples of YouTubers who have really done the same thing. There's this guy. His name's like Matthew Satoru or something like that. He has 4.5 million subscribers now, and his grind was very slow. It took him over 5 years, and this guy literally he did this vlog, and I only found out about this. No credit to me through a YouTube channel called YouTube Creators. It's owned by YouTube, and they bring in actual top YouTubers and do interviews. And I don't know how they found these clips, but they did this whole compilation slash interview with this man Matthew, and they found this one vlog clip back in 2013 where he talks about how he's giving up on YouTube and saying like, he wasn't going to make it. He started in 2010, so he was hustling for 3 years, and then he finally made it. Now he's got 4.5 million, but he was literally making a video for like the fifth time, telling his YouTube audience, I've put so much effort into my videos. I don't think I can ever turn this into a full-time career or anything. And he was about to give up. And I'm sure he was getting like probably 1,000 views per video back then. I'll have to look it up. But you can look it up yourselves. Go to waybackmachine.com and just type in the URLs, the website URL of the channel, and you can see how the channel looked at that time. And the point is, it's just another clear example of a man who didn't give up, and he turned that around. For this man who had put in so much work for 3 years, he restructured his channel, kept trying, kept testing. Sometimes you can persevere, but you gotta try some different things. You can still go for the same goal, but maybe try a few different ways of getting there. And so I just find that incredible. Props to YouTube creators for finding those clips, and I just find that incredible. Like, this man released so many videos, did so many stuff, and people don't realize that. Like, literally they don't. And again, there's a lot of breakout stars, people who just from day one they succeed. But that's not always the case. And honestly, there's so many different flavors for success. There's not one, clear example. Like, even if you look at the top 5 most subscribed channels, a lot of them are doing very different stuff, and some are breaking quite a few rules here and there. So I find that incredible, and it just goes to show you perseverance. If this is something you really want, you got to persevere. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.